Hi everyone. So I wanted to do this video for a very long time, but I got so many devices, so I didn't really get the time to revisit my iPad Pro. I made a video about it, but it was short term and I didn't even have my Magic Keyboard at that time. So I really want to talk about my long term experience about this iPad Pro. It's been 4 months that I'm using this iPad Pro and I really want to talk about how it is holding up. Do I really use it? Should you buy it right now or wait for the new one? Or is there any improvement or downgrade in the performance? Before starting this review, I just want to say that these are luxury items, not necessity, and they are not laptop replacement but an addition so that you can keep your personal and professional life separate. If it makes any sense, and if it doesn't, I'll explain it later. I want to talk about the build first and how it is holding up. So I'm one of those people who do not like cases or screen protector on any of the devices, but for a tablet, case is a must and screen protector if you want to, because you cannot keep your tablet anywhere you want, at least after seeing the bend test. But I didn't put a heavy case on it. I'm not someone who's going to drop their laptop or iPad, but if you are one of those clumsy people, I think a better protection is a must. But for most of the people, a magnetic folio case is good enough because the device looks also great and it's holding up pretty great. And I also didn't want to put a tempered glass on it, but my Magic Keyboard was leaving marks on my screen, so I had to. Although the screen of these iPhones and iPad are fingerprint magnet, unlike the Samsung or any other phone I used to use, the iPad is still in a great condition. There are no visible scratches or dents of any kind. And there's nothing really to talk about design. It's perfect and it's not going to change anytime soon. And frankly, I don't want it to. Display on this iPad is wonderful. The only display that can beat this iPad is the Samsung's AMOLED, but otherwise this display is great. And the black levels are really great despite being an LCD. Viewing angle are also great and it does support HDR and Dolby Vision. At first I wasn't really a fan of this aspect ratio, but I think it's practical and it makes more sense because you can see more content on the screen. So if you're browsing, writing a script, using Microsoft Office and doing anything else other than media, you can see more content on the screen. Because media is not the only thing that you want to achieve from this Pro devices. One downside of this aspect ratio you will see when you connect to a monitor. You can see those black bars, and I only wish a better external monitor support from Apple. The biggest highlight on the Pro iPads is the ProMotion display. I'm okay with 60Hz on the mobile, but on tablet it enhances the experience. I mean, definitely there is a difference between 60Hz and 120Hz, but it's more apparent on a bigger display. It's not a deal breaker, but having it makes the experience a lot better. Even if it's not the best display on the market, it makes the media experience amazing. And more thanks to that quad speaker. The loudness, the deepness, bass, and the quality of those speakers are great. These speakers are better than my MacBook Pro, and you can also watch 4K on YouTube without installing iPadOS Beta. But yes, Netflix is limited to 1080p right now. So if I talk about battery life, it is good. If you don't use a Magic Keyboard, it's great, but if you use a Magic Keyboard, it does eat up a little more battery. I did a battery comparison between Tab S7 and iPad Pro, so if you're interested in something like that, please go check that out. But I usually get a full working day from this, unlike my MacBook Pro, which I usually get 3 to 4 hours of battery life. Recent Intel MacBooks are not really great with battery life in my opinion. I'm not gonna go in details about my Magic Keyboard because I already made a review about it. I just wanna say I love it. Yes, it is expensive, but it is worth it. I love writing on this and I choose this over any other laptop anytime. If I have to go out and I don't have to compile a code or execute something, I definitely pick this up over my Mac. Whenever I visit my hometown, I even carry my iPad Pro, not my Mac anymore. I take all my calls and do all my meetings on it, and the mic quality on this tab is amazing. Hi everyone, now I'm testing the microphone on iPad Pro, and I think iPad Air microphones are not bad at all. On my Mac, I always have to worry about if the other person is able to hear me properly, but with this tab, I don't have to worry about that at all. I do wish the camera was in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode because I never use this tablet in portrait mode. So now what I do is I keep my face window on the left side near the camera so another person will not feel weird. And I usually look at myself because the camera quality is so good. I know it will feel like that Apple paid me for this review, but they didn't. I really love this thing, and this is the only technology that exceeded my expectations. And when I was writing the script, I was really smiling because I don't really get excited about everything. It's not perfect, definitely not. But in my opinion, if you're using a technology and it's not bothering you that you want to ditch it, it's a good product. And if you still want to use it despite its flaws, it's a great product. Apple has made so many right calls with this iPad, like USB-C port, and it's great for transferring media and charging this device. Even if you want to connect with the Windows laptop or an Android phone just with USB-C, and you can transfer the data easily. It also has 10 Gbps transfer speed, so you can connect your SSD and transfer file very fast. The most irritating thing about this iPadOS is the file manager. It's bad, it doesn't show any progress bar, and it hangs a lot when you're transferring a larger file. Most of the time I have to wait from going to SSD to any other folder on my iPad just to copy files. Not every software can copy files from the My Files section, so you have to download in the photos before working on it. And there's another issue with Magic Keyboard, that the multitasking does not work very good, so you have to use your touch screen. You can't even open an app from the second page, you have to put it in dock before using it in multitasking. I wish there was an option to resize the windows so that I can see the widgets on the screen and work on any application. I know iPadOS 14 is great, but it's still not flexible. Sometimes while I'm using keyboard shortcut, it made me realize that it's not a laptop, it's a tablet. If you use Apple Pencil, iPadOS 14 also gives you Scribble, and I think that's the highlight feature of iPadOS 14. It's great if you don't use Magic Keyboard and like to write on the screen and you have a good handwriting. For me, I don't like to write because I'm bad at it, so I don't really care about it. But for creative work and for the precise touch, that Apple Pencil is very good. The sidecar support also works great if you have a Mac, so you have a secondary display on the go. And if you have an iPhone, the message and call transfer service is also seamless. I don't think I need to talk about the processor. I think it's still more powerful than this OS can utilize. It just flies through everything. I haven't seen any sort of hiccup, slowness, or a frame drop. It just works and I don't have to wait for anything. RAM management is also okay, and the only time I close my background application when I want to see the smoothness of that ProMotion display. Same goes for GPU. It's an 8-core GPU and it's very powerful. The gaming on this iPad is on another level, and if you want to do some creative work or video editing, I think it performs much better than my 13-inch MacBook Pro. Now the question is, should you buy it right now or wait for the new one? If you're going to purchase the 11-inch version, I think you can purchase it right now. But if you want to go for 12.9, I think you can wait because it's pending for a refresh and it's going to upgrade the display as well. But you might have to wait for 5 months at least in India. In the end, all I want to say about this iPad that it impressed me, and despite all the flaws, I love using it over my MacBook Pro. It's easier to carry, it lasts more, and the media and productivity experience is great on this device. I have no regrets of purchasing this device, and I'm sure you will love it too. And if you're confused about iPad Pro, iPad Air or Tab S7, I made a dedicated video about it too. I know I'm late with the iPhone 12 videos, but they're coming soon. So please subscribe to my channel and thank you for watching my videos. My name is Rohit. I'll see you in the next one. Till then.